Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to attend this very special webinar on our Wonders of Peru tour with Senior Discovery Tours, featuring guest speaker Mariana Watson. My name is Natalia Vargas, and I have been a tour consultant and tour manager at Senior Discovery Tours for 9 years. And during this time, I've had the privilege of escorting many groups to places all over the world, including to the amazing destination we will be discussing today. Please note that everyone has been muted. There will be a question and answer period at the end of Mariana's presentation. Should you have any questions at any time, please enter them into the Q&A section at either the bottom or the top of your screen, depending on your device. Once again, today we have a surprise for one lucky attendee who is going to win a $100 gift certificate for future travel with Senior Discovery Tours. At the end of Mariana's presentation, I will ask a question that is based on the webinar, and the first person to enter the correct answer in the Zoom chat will be the lucky winner. Please stay tuned for this exciting opportunity. On our agenda today, we will briefly discuss our updated health and safety regulations in relation to COVID-19 and some of our exciting new reward programs. We will present our guest speaker, Mariana, who will take us on a virtual tour to explore the wonders of Peru. There will then be a question and answer period. After the Q&A, we will outline our many tours and what makes us so unique. So for anyone who is new to Senior Discovery Tours, please stick around. We are now going to outline our health and COVID-19 protocols and our new discovery rewards. For those who attended our last webinar, this may be a repeat for you. Feel free to grab a coffee and come back in about 3 minutes. But first, a little bit about us. Senior Discovery Tours is the largest Canadian tour operator specializing in fully escorted worldwide group tours for the mature travelers since 1975. We now offer over 200 tours and cruises, all with interesting itineraries, flexible pricing, great value, and quality. The health and safety of our clients and staff are of the utmost importance, and we are delighted to report that we have been awarded the Safe Travel stamp by the World Travel and Tourism Council. We anticipate there will be a vaccination certificate necessary to any travel to a foreign country and possibly even to board an aircraft. These regulations will be outlined by governing countries. Vaccination against COVID-19 will be required to participate in a Senior Discovery Tour. Proof must be submitted to our offices no later than 14 days prior to departure. We have updated our policy to ensure that you are covered for COVID-19 when traveling with us. Senior Discovery Tours is excited to launch 2 new programs, Discovery Rewards and Blue Sky Referrals. From exclusive travel items to discounts on future tours, this is an exciting way to get more out of every trip you take. Simply put, the more you travel, the higher your rewards. Another amazing program is our Insider Club benefits. If you are part of a club or association, we will offer a 4% commission that will be paid directly to the club or association. The best part is that there's no minimum number of participants required for this benefit. To book a virtual presentation for your club, please contact us. You can book with confidence and complete peace of mind with our new special cancellation policy. You may now cancel your tour up to 60 days prior to your departure date, and Senior Discovery Tours will offer you an immediate full refund. Should Senior Discovery Tours be forced to cancel a tour due to government advisories, you will be issued an immediate full refund. Our international tours for 2022 are open for booking. To book one of these tours, please contact one of our consultants. And if you're not currently on our mailing list and would like to be, please subscribe on our website. Each season, we like to include new and unique, exciting tour destinations. Our latest brochure features these incredible new tours: the Kootenay Rockies, the Heart of England, Walking on PEI, Walking in Exmoor, Britain's Explorer Road, and Ancient Touring Routes of England. Amazing. Now, on with the program. Mariana has over 20 years of experience in the cultural tourism sector, which gives her a unique perspective and profound understanding of her home country. She's a passionate traveler as well as a conservator for archaeological collections. She's also the director of Culture Peru and has previously served as the director of public affairs for over 16 years at the renowned Museo Largo in Lima. Her mission throughout her career has always been to spread her love for Peru and create a positive impact through travel. Hi, Mariana. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, how are you?
Hola,
Happy to be
good.
here. Hola. Thank you for having me here. I'm more than happy to to actually welcome you to the Sacred Valley here in Peru, where I'm actually staying for a few weeks. So I'll tell you around all the itinerary that we have prepared for you for next year and so on. But I want to have an introduction of my country. So you must have heard that Peru is one of the most dreamed about outdoors destinations. Nowadays, I'm in the Sacred Valley, as I told you before, in Cusco. So we have highlands and different environments and climates and landscapes that have made that Peru has one of the richest cultural heritage and history of the Americas. No? So, but the thing is that, Peru has a history of or evidence that that proves that we are one of the 6 cradles of civilizations and of the world. And I will go a little bit further on that. But yeah, I think I will go through the itinerary so you will get to see from mountains to beaches to deserts and even rainforest. You know? But you must probably have heard about this Inca Empire. No, the Incas are the most, let's say, word related to Peru that is like really worldwide famous. No, but yeah, the Inca Empire is considered to be one of the most important civilizations in South America. But the Inca Empire reigned only just about 100 years before the Spanish conquistadors came, between the 1400s and the 1500s. No, and it actually was a huge, large empire that involved not only Peru, but Ecuador, Colombia, Bolivia, Chile, Argentina, no, neighboring countries as well. But why the Incas are so famous? No, and yeah, they did this huge empire. They were really amazing builders, and they have a way of living and a way of thinking about their own how do you say it, in relation to the different landscapes that Peru had. No, but the Incas were actually, and I'll tell you a secret, the Incas are really famous because they were the ones ruling this area when the Spanish came. No, in 1532, the Spanish conquistadors came and they discovered this new world. The new world, I just have to picture this, many, many years ago, they discovered a new world, a new planet, and they saw that there were people living here. So the chroniclers went to Peru from Spain, and they recorded all the information about who are these Incas from this new continent. And these chronicles and this information about the Inca rulers in that particular moment was the only information that the world had on Peru until archaeology started at the beginning of last century. One of the most important discoveries in archaeology history around the world is the discovery of Machu Picchu by an expedition from the Yale University in 1911, where this lost city was discovered, and all this discovery was published in the National Geographic magazine. It was a huge discovery, and all over the world we knew about this Inca city, new, lost, now discovered. And again, the name Inca became like, hey, just the same as saying Peru, But now, 100 years after archaeology started in different areas of Peru, now we know that actually the Incas were ruling Peru 100 years before the Spanish came. And Peru is a huge country, that had societies ruling different areas of the country, like the ones that you are seeing in your screen today. Now, I will not go through all of this, but it's important for you to know that Peru has over 5,000 years of pre-Columbian history, and that Peru is considered to be a cradle of civilization. Cradle of civilization, in a very easy way, means that there were 6 places that around 5,000, 6,000 before Christ developed cities. So the people were wandering around the world. They stayed in one particular place and developed religion, politics, agriculture. These 6 places around the world were Egypt, Mesopotamia, India, China, and in the New World, or the Americas. It was in the middle of the continent, in between Mesoamerica, between Mexico and Honduras, Guatemala, and the only one in South America is Peru, which is a little bit curious, and you will learn this while you're here, but it's the only cradle of civilization that is in the southern hemisphere, which gives a particular and unique way of seeing the world for these ancient societies. But I'm saying this because, yeah, you will probably have heard about Peru and Machu Picchu and Cusco and the Incas, but that's only the cherry on top of a big, big cake. And in order to understand the destination, you have to eat the cake and enjoy it. So Peru, why it became a cradle of civilization? Peru is a really diverse country, and it's divided in 3 different regions. And many, 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 many sub-regions. But it has 2 things that are really particular. One is that we are in the Tropic of Capricorn, and we were supposed to be a tropical country. But we have 2 things. The cold current from the south that just freezes over our tropical climate. And we do have this amazing mountain range, the Andes. So what happens with this? We have different climates. We have the rainforest, we have a really dry coastline, and we have different areas in the mountains. So it's a country that is really particular and unique. And in order to understand it, Senior Discovery Tours has this amazing itinerary that covers almost every part of these different landscapes. We will start getting to Lima, the capital. That's where I usually live. I don't have always this mountain view around me all the time. I live here in Lima. So Lima is the biggest city in the country. It has over 1/3 of the population, or that can be around 11 million people lives in here. So it's a huge, modern, chaotic, fun city to be close to the Pacific Ocean. But yeah, now it's a big modern city, but the truth is that, and I'm sorry for this awful chart, but it's the best one to explain what I want to say. Each one of these little dots, little circles, was an archaeological site. So Lima has 380 or more archaeological sites, and the city has grown in the same place for over 5,000 years. So you have these pictures, like the one that I'm showing now, that you have the modern city right next to the archaeological sites. So you actually see the development of the city and how everything lives together. Lima, and this is a drawing from the main plaza at the beginning of the colonial times, where you can see the different temples, a politic temple, the Palacio de Taulichusco in downtown Lima, and the Templo del Pumainti, which is the religious site. Nowadays, our government palace and our cathedral, main cathedral, is in exactly the same place. So how many cities you can actually say that their religious and politics center has been in the same place for over 5,000 years, actually. So in order to understand this development, you also have to go not only to archaeological sites and go around the city, but you have also to go to downtown Lima, where you will see all this architecture and art and just the way the old city from viceroyal times used to live. All these buildings are around are an easy walk to learn and absorb all the history of the city. And while we are in Lima, we will also go to Museo Larco. Museo Larco is one of the most important museums in South America, actually, and has an amazing collection of pre-Columbian times. So this is the best way, it's like a tool to understand all this history, and has this amazing collection of gold and jewelry that you will not see anywhere else in the country. You know? So once we get all this overview of what we are going to see and how the different periods happened in one particular city, we will go and to one of my favorite places in my country, which is the Paracas National Reserve. Paracas is it's a natural park where actually there are it's a migratory, how do you say it? Migratory, sorry, my English. It's an area that spans deserts and ocean and islands, and it's a home to wildlife like sea lions and dolphins and migratory birds. All this can be seen from this particular islands, complex of islands that it's Ballestas Islands. From Paracas, we will also go to see the archaeological site of the Nazca Lines. As you may know, the Nazca Lines are a World Heritage Site by UNESCO, and it's a group of geoglyphs. I think that's how it says, and it's etched into desert sands. It covers around 1,000 square kilometers, so these figures, there are over 300. You can also only see them from these big towers, or what we're going to do an overflight to see most of them. So this is the first area that you will enjoy desert and wildlife and rest a little and enjoy the ocean. Then we will go back to Lima and take a flight to go to this region in the South Andes that it's called Arequipa. Arequipa is a city that is framed as the second largest city in the country, and it's framed by 3 volcanoes. The most famous one is called the Misti. So the downtown Arequipa is made by this whitish rock. It's a volcanic rock called sillar. So all the neighborhoods are built within this stone. And it's a quarter. It's not that big, but it has all these particular buildings made of this volcanic stone, including the Santa Catalina Monastery. The Santa Catalina Monastery is like a small city within the city. It's 20,000 square meters, and it's divided into neighborhoods where these cloistered nuns used to live and still live, actually, until to this day. But it will give you an overview of how the colonial city was. So we will go through the little rooms where they have kitchens and their homes and the places where they wash their clothes and everything. So it will transport you to these colonial times. At the same time, while we are in the city, we will go to visit Peru's ice maiden, Juanita. Juanita is from the Incan period. It's a mummy that was found in the top of one of the mountains close, actually, it was frozen to death. She was a sacrifice to Pachamama, or Mother Earth. And she was discovered and transported to actually like a nice, it's like a frozen gallery, where you can see and learn how the Incas asked their most important ladies, let's say, or they're close to the royal families, and they sacrificed them in these mountains. So after we have learned about the Arequipa and learn a little bit of the culture of the city, we will go to the Colca Canyon. The Colca Canyon is a river canyon in southern Peru, and it's famed as one of the world's deepest, a habitat for the Andean condor. So we will go to these particular places where we get to see this. I think it's it's the largest bird on Earth. It's 4 feet high and like 14 feet when it has the wings open, and it's 27 pounds and actually can live. It's a really long living bird. Almost 70 years it lives. So once we get to the Colca Canyons and see these little towns and learn about the wildlife and their traditions, we will go to Puno. So we will go further into the mountains until we get to Lake Titicaca. I know this is a map that probably you don't see that really well, but I just wanted to show you how big is this lake. Lake Titicaca is it's like a largest lake in South America and the world's highest navigable body of water. You know, so it's almost like an ocean. If you're from one side of the shores, you don't see the other side. It's a huge lake, and it has islands and people living in these different islands. You have one important thing to say is that there are islands that are real, and we will see that a little bit later. But one really curious thing here is the Uros. The Uros is this community that has lived in these floating islands made of reed for centuries. Everything is made of reed. They are floating around in the lake close to the city of Puno in the Peruvian side. Now, so one of the things that we were going to do here, if we go, we will visit them and we will learn how they cut this this piece of land with the roots of the reed, and then just float away and anchor themselves wherever they want in the Lake Titicaca. You know, one thing to know is that there are not a few. There are over 120 islands of the Uros, and the islands are divided into families. You know, and there's so many situations that I don't know, maybe sometimes families fight and they just anchor themselves out and just float away to a different area of the community. You know, so it's a really interesting and frozen in time thing we are doing here. No, not only with the Uros Islands that have been doing the same thing for over and over in time, but we will also go to a real island called Taquile. No, Taquile is, I've been there about 2 months ago, and you know, it's a breathtaking view of Lake Titicaca and these beaches and sandy beaches actually, and it's really cold. Remember, we're really high in altitude, no, but this particular island has the award, or let's say label, of being an intangible World Heritage Site of UNESCO as well. So why? Intangible means a tradition. This island, usually textile art, is done by women, not only in Peru, but in different societies around the world. But in Taquile, the textile art has a lot of meaning, and it's done by men. That's why it's so particular. And when we go and visit them, we will enjoy the island, enjoy the view, but we will also get to meet and learn the locals. You know? After we have been a couple of days here in this area in Lake Titicaca, we will go further into the highlands to Cusco, our last stop. You know? So in order to get from Puno, Lake Titicaca, to Cusco, it takes about 8 hours in the bus, but we will make stops at archaeological sites such as this Rakchi or the Church of Andahuaylillas, a beautiful viceroyal church, really small church in a small town going into the valley, the Sacred Valley, that it has this amazing murals. This church and these murals were done in the 16th century. So it's a really early in time when the Spanish came that this was done. And it was, it's a little jewel. And the World Monuments Fund restored it a few years ago, and you can see it in all its glory. You know? Once we go back to our hotel and rest of this small and fun journey, we will go to the city of Cusco. It's important for you to know that Cusco is a big region as well. So we will make our first stop at downtown Cusco to understand where this the Inca Empire was ruling, actually, because Cusco was the capital of the Inca Empire. But of course, when the Spanish came, they took over and they got these archaeological sites from the Incas and built, of course, churches, Catholic churches. So they used the stones of the buildings of the Incas and built and brought art from Spain in order to bring the Catholic religion to the area. So Cusco City has this particular thing that you see. I don't know if you can see here in this picture that I took a few years ago. That in gray, in the middle of this like big steps, you get this in gray, the Inca stones, because this is the Coricancha, where the Inca ruled. It was the Inca palace, the most important place. But of course, when the Spanish came, they built a Catholic church on top. So if you go around the city of Cusco, downtown Cusco, you will see this everywhere, like these Inca walls covered with viceroyal buildings, and sometimes, and like you can see also here in this picture, you can also see the modern buildings as well. But this has this look that makes Cusco special, and that everyone falls in love when they go. An archaeological place that is on top of Cusco City, and you get the overview of the complete city, is Sacsayhuaman, or sometimes here, in order to, this is Quechua language, and it's sometimes hard. Many people say it's sexy woman. No, but Sacsayhuaman was a fortress for the Incas to protect their center of power. After we get this overview of now the Inca society, we will go where I am now, the Sacred Valley. The Sacred Valley is this long valley that has the Urubamba River giving water to all these agricultural lands. And this is the perfect place to meet the locals. This is, again, a picture I took about 2 years ago, before the pandemic, of Chincheros town, where they were. I was just there in the plaza, and I hear this, let's say, like trumpets made of shells, and I was like, "What's that sound? What's that sound?" And then the rulers of the communities around Chincheros gathered in order to get to mass. So this is it. This is a picture that you will see everywhere. And we will get into the culture. We will get to see the leaders that are always around. You will see in the small towns the weavers, and we, of course, will learn about the agricultural calendar and everything that is important for their way of being. Agriculture, of course, is the center of everything, and you will learn on all the crops that Cusco has given actually to the world. I don't know if you know, but potatoes are from Peru, and we have over 3,000 different kinds of potatoes, and corn. Also, corn is really important here because we do a lot of things with it, and we have over 55 varieties of corn. So of course, Peru is also very well known because of these culinary traditions. And so while you're in the desert, in the coast, you will get fresh seafood. But if you go into the highlands, you will get all these different dishes that involve all these landscapes. Because now there's commerce, and everything was related to one town to the other because of roads. So while we're in the valley, we will go to other archaeological places to learn about how was life in the Inca times. And then we will go to the last part of, or the last city of our trip, and probably one of the main reasons that you decide to visit my country, Machu Picchu. So Machu Picchu is it's not actually in the Sacred Valley. In order to get there, we have two ways. One of them is walking, the Inca Trail, and the one that we're going to do, much more comfortable, we will go in this beautiful train, the Vista Dome, in order to get from the Sacred Valley to Aguascalientes or Machu Picchu town. These are really comfortable trains, and it takes about an hour and a half from one place to the other. And I have to tell you, this is one of the most beautiful train rides, because you start in mountains and snow peaks, and then you end in about an hour and a half, you get into our rainforest, because Machu Picchu is between. It's in the cloudy forest. It's humid. You get a different thing, a different climate from what we were experiencing here in the valley. And then when we get to Aguascalientes town, we will get a bus. It will take us to the top of the mountain where Machu Picchu is located. So again, Machu Picchu is one of the most important, or the most important landmark of my country. And experts estimate it was built by the Incas in the 15th century, but it was abandoned. So there are some areas that are perfectly done, and there are some areas that are not, they weren't finished. And it's a huge city. It was a city linked to the Inca civilization, so different cities from the Inca civilization, by this big road, the Inca road system, that it's called the Capacñan. So Machu Picchu is built between two big mountains. The one that is really, really well known, because it's that picture that you will take from Machu Picchu, is the Huayna Picchu mountain, the one you're seeing today. Huayna Picchu. Huayna Picchu has you have the city Machu Picchu, and on top of the Huayna Picchu mountain, you even have a temple. And Machu Picchu was created by moving stones around and flattened. They flattened this between the mountains in order to build this city that has temples, that have houses, that has agricultural places as well. There are a few little landmarks between this big highlight. So we will get to see a little bit of the temples. We will get to see a little bit of how the city actually worked. This is also the place for you to see llamas and alpacas, and if you're lucky, get a selfie. There are over 25 llamas here wandering around Machu Picchu. They live there, and they are like the most important inhabitants of the city. So as you have seen with this itinerary, you get to see an overview of everything in the country. It's really immersive and complete, and it ends with what I said before. This is you end up at Machu Picchu, surrounded by these beautiful mountains and forests, in one of the 7 wonders of the world, and it's just breathtaking to be there. I've been there over 25 times, I don't know, and each time that I go, I always get goosebumps. And it is a highlight, and something that you should do at least once in a lifetime. So with that said, just thank you for having me here, and I'm open to any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Mariana, thank you so much for your incredible presentation. Such a beautiful place and so much culture and history. Amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Just to let everyone know, our next offering of this tour will be in February of 2022, next year. Please watch our website or brochure for further details on this tour. We are now going to do our question and answer period with Mariana. If you have a question, please enter it into the Q&A section and I'll pass it on to her. So thank you once again, Mariana, for that amazing presentation. I think we are all ready to pack our bags and get going.
Visit me. That would be great. Absolutely. Mountains.
We'll be there in February. Don't worry. Yeah. So we do, of course, have some questions for you. And thank you so much for being ready for us. Yeah. You mentioned we'll be traveling through the highlands and, from sea level up to the mountains. And I think we've all heard about altitude sickness. Is this something that we should be worried about? Are there any tips? Should we bring medication?
I don't think it's necessary to bring altitude sickness medication. What usually happens is that, and this is something that you don't have to do, or you don't want to do, is to go, arrive in Lima and go straight to the Andes. What this itinerary does is that we will go slowly in different altitudes. We will go first to Arequipa, which is lower, then we will go to Puno, then we will go to Sacred Valley. We will go to different places in order to keep it safe for everybody in terms of altitude sickness. But one thing that I must say is that many people get dehydrated, and think it is altitude sickness. So my recommendation is to take things at a slow pace and have a lot of water. That's it.
Okay.
That's the trick.
Perfect. So keep hydrated and then adjust to the altitudes, which is what we do on this tour. So
Yes. Yes,
excellent. And
exactly.
you also mentioned we'll be traveling again from sea level to the mountains, and it looks like sunny and then rain and then chilly in the mountains. What kind of clothing should we bring for this tour? All seasons or?
Nah, a little bit. It depends because if you're coming in February, for example, you're in Paracas area, you will have in summer and you'll be at the beach. So yeah, you've my recommendation because then you will go to Puno and it's going to be cold and it's going to be rainy. So yeah, wear layers. That's it. That's my recommendation. No, we say here dress like an onion in layers. So yeah, fleece sweaters, waterproof jackets, a really good and warm, maybe feather jacket. No, again, baseball cap, hats. You again layers. No, I think that's the best way to go. It can be in the highlands. It could be really, really sunny and hot, and then after the afternoon, that's it. It's really cold. So just
Gotcha.
layer up.
Okay, so bring a bathing suit and then prepare for winter too.
Yes, that's
we
fun.
can we can do that.
Yeah.
And how about sunblock? Is that something in the high altitude that probably is important too?
Yes, totally recommended. The sun especially in the highlands is it's strong. So yeah, it's my recommendation is yes, always use sunblock and keep hydrated at all times.
Okay, I see. And we're just getting one question that's coming in regarding our visit at Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
So the question is, how long are we at the site?
Nowadays Machu Picchu has it's a slot thing in order to maintain the site clean and safe. There are only a few people allowed this in a shift how do you say it? Timeline.
Sure.
So what we have to do is what the time we have is about 2 to 3 hours, and believe me, it's a lot because the city is big, but we are going to go everywhere at their own pace and learn about everything, and it's really I think it's the best way to go between
Uh,
2 to 3 hours.
and it's a guided tour that we have there.
Always
So
a guided tour in order for you to have all the questions. I think we have the best guides that they know the city, so they will tell you all about it, and they will be able to answer any questions that you may have along the way.
absolutely.
Mhm.
And we saw a lot of stairs and it looks a bit uneven at some spots. How much walking is actually involved to complete this tour, the whole itinerary?
It depends on the city, but usually our days have like between 4 to 6 hours. And for example, the city of Lima is flat. So and we will have the tours are done in a way that you have enough resting time as well. So yeah, we will walk around the plazas and then go back, sit down a little bit, learn a little bit more from the guides. But yeah, of course, when we go to places to Puno or even Cusco and what you have seen in Machu Picchu, yeah, there are a few steps involved. So the trip will require a basic level of fitness, but the days are not designed to be long. This tour is decided to enjoy it. So don't worry, we will go at the group's pace all the time.
Okay, and even during the walks, you're walking and stopping, so it's not
Of
like you're
course.
climbing all the stairs all
No,
at once.
no, not at all. That's not that enjoyable.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, this is a
Good to know.
vacation.
Absolutely. Good
Yeah.
to know. And you also mentioned about the food and the fresh fish, all the corn and all the potatoes.
Yeah.
So what, and of course, Peru is known for the gastronomy.
Mhm.
What does a typical dish in Peru look like? What does this consist of?
Again, it depends on the region you're at. In Lima, where I live, and mostly the coastline, of course, the most important dishes are related to seafood. So ceviche, which is
Mm.
fresh raw fish, cured. I don't know. I think now ceviche is worldwide famous. So it's this white fish cured in lemon, lemon or lime sometimes. But it has onions and of course the corn and sweet potatoes, and so it's a mixture of flavors. But if you're in the highlands, for example, I don't know, you can try pachamanca, which is a local dish around here. Or one important thing that you will see in every region is lomo saltado, which is a stir-fried dish of beef marinated strip of sirloin with onions, tomatoes, French fries, and a little bit of soy sauce. So yeah, we have everything we have all these different landscapes and geographies. So the food here is always fresh, and you have all kinds of varieties and different tastes. Yeah.
Amazing. And since there's such wide variety, is it possible to, if we request a specialized meal or if there's a special meal request, an allergy, that type of thing, is it easy to accommodate?
It is. It is easy, especially Peruvians are the most welcoming people I know. So everyone will try all along the way to make you happy. So everywhere we go, if you had a gluten-free, you need gluten-free, or you are a vegetarian or a vegan, it can easily be accommodated. Yeah. Or even an
Okay.
allergy. Yeah.
Excellent. That's great to know. And in terms of the tap water, is that something that we should stay away from and use bottled water instead?
Usually I would say no, because but I think it's okay for locals.
Okay.
But it's better for you to not drink or brush your teeth. You will always have bottled water around you. So I think that's the best recommendation. Not everyone has the same bugs. So I do,
Sure.
but I don't recommend you to do so. Yeah.
So stick to bottled water
Yeah.
and it's provided. So
Yes.
you have no
Totally.
excuse.
Yeah. There are hotels, excursions everywhere. So don't worry about that.
Excellent. And do you have any tips for exchanging money when we're there? Can we use US dollars, Canadian dollars, or should we buy the local currency?
Again, it depends. If you're a shopper and you like markets, you should have a little bit of a cash with you in the local currency that is soles, Peruvian sol,
Okay.
which means sun, the Peruvian sun. And it's easy to change, to have a few, mostly in Lima. Your guides will help you with that in Lima, and Cusco, and Puno. Everywhere is easy. Just ask your guides, and they will help you at all times. Credit cards, ATMs, and even dollars, not Canadian dollars, that's harder, but US dollars are welcomed everywhere, in restaurants and stores. But you will need cash. If, for example, if you go to Taquile Islands and you want to buy one of these beautiful textiles, then you will need cash. And Peruvian soles. They won't take, because they live on this secluded island. Those are the particular places that you will need cash.
Okay, that's great to know. And is English widely spoken in Peru?
Yes. Yeah. In Lima and Cusco, remember, these are big cities that they are, in many of these small towns, you will find someone always that speaks English, and you will always be with your guide who speaks English. So you will not have any problems if you need anything at all. But probably in the places like the Sacred Valley, or even in Puno, for example, or in the Colca Canyon, their main language is not even Spanish. It's Quechua. So, but you will always be with someone that speaks Spanish that speak English, Quechua, and Spanish in all this during your touring. Yeah.
Perfect. And we do have one more question that has come in from our audience. What is the best time to see the condors? Is it February or November? Or
hard question. Because I've been in the area, in the Colca Canyon, in both times, and I've been lucky enough to see them in both moments in time because they live there. No, so they don't move, they don't migrate. The condors are in particular places in here around the Sacred Valley and in this in the Colca Canyon. In the Colca Canyon is easily to see. I don't have a favorite time of the year to visit Peru. February, you will have the best time in Paracas because the ocean and the wildlife there is probably beautiful. But at the same time, in November, you have less rain. So you can also see different things in the here in the valley. So it's a tricky one. But for condors, it's the same thing.
Okay, yeah. So you have a chance either in February or in November.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. That's great to know. Thank you so much again for such an informative presentation and for answering all of our questions. I think we are left hungry and wanting to pack our bags to go to Peru. So thank you so much again, Mariana.
Thank you for having me here.
Take care and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We are now entering the last 10 minutes of our webinar. Please feel free to continue to use the Q&A box to send us any questions that you have. I will now be asking a question for your chance to win a $100 future travel gift certificate with Senior Discovery Tours. The first person, as usual, to place the correct answer in the Q&A box will be the lucky winner. The winner will be announced at the very end of the presentation, so please stay with us. And the question is, what is the name of the mountain close to Machu Picchu? Once again, the question is, what is the name of the mountain close to Machu Picchu? Go ahead and enter your answers and we'll have a look at them at the end. I'll announce the winner. Don't miss out on our next exciting webinar taking place on November 24th, featuring the Poppy Trail Historic Battlefields Tour with local expert Samantha Cohen. Be sure to subscribe to our e-newsletter on our website to receive a free Zoom invite directly in your inbox. Stay tuned for further details regarding upcoming webinars on our social media. If you would like to learn more about Senior Discovery Tours, please stay with us as I will be providing more details about our tour types and inclusions, plus everything that makes traveling with us so exceptional. We like to take care of all the details, both big and small. Just a few of the things that we include on all of our tours are round-trip transportation between your home and the airport in most Canadian cities, all airfare and airport taxes, carefully selected accommodations, most meals, all tipping and taxes, cancellation insurance, health insurance while outside Canada, and the best part is that all of our tours are guaranteed in Canadian funds, with all taxes included and no hidden fees. To further enhance your tour experience, we provide meet and greet service at Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, and Vancouver airports to help assist with your check-in experience. Tours fully escorted by one of our experienced tour managers. Expert local guides providing knowledgeable commentary on the history, culture, and customs of the destination that you're visiting, as well as entry visas to those countries where it is required. Our optional services allow you to curate your own travel experience. We offer air extensions should you wish to stay longer in the country you're visiting, air upgrades to assist with the comfort of your flying experience, waiting lists for those tours that are sold out, as well as a roommate matching program. Now, on to some of our incredible tours and what they offer. We have flight plus coach tours. These tours ensure you get the most out of your holiday. They're multi-city tours, which means more hotel changes and lots of movement, ensuring tons of excitement. Listed here are some of our more popular flight and coach tours. Just like the term suggests, these tours are best suited for those that enjoy staying in one location and exploring its surroundings. These tours are much more leisurely, allowing for time to relax and also to enjoy excursions. Here are just a few examples. Next, we have our 2 and 3 center holidays. Focusing on 2 or 3 different regions or countries, these tours are excellent if you want to combine a couple of locations, but still have plenty of time to explore. Listed are some of our most popular 2 and 3 center holidays. Another vacation type is our classical coach tour. These tours are perfect for those who do not care to travel abroad and wish to have an experience closer to home. Adventurous travelers who enjoy moving around while taking in incredible scenery love our walking and hiking tours. Imagine yourself walking through quaint French villages, along coastal paths, or by magnificent lakes while listening to the expert commentary of your local guide. Truly a wonderful way to travel. Our rail tours are becoming increasingly popular, offering a completely different perspective and unique way of traveling. It's easy to see why. From the Jacobite to the Glacier Express and to the Rocky Mountaineer, there's no shortage of unforgettable scenery on any of these tours. For those wanting more out of their travel experience, think about our exotic destinations. They will be full of adventure and never-ending opportunities for discovery. These tours are sure to delight anyone ready for an exciting journey. And lastly, there's no need to pack and unpack several times to get the most out of your tour. You will have access to hundreds of activities and amenities, not to mention incredible views. Senior Discovery Tours now offers 30 different cruises in locations all over the world. Here are some of our more popular cruises. We want to thank all of our loyal customers who have been posting such wonderful reviews on social media over the past year. Please continue to let us know about your past travels and memories with Senior Discovery Tours, and send us any suggestions you have for future webinars. You can follow us on all social media platforms. These addresses can be found right on our website. Answer to the question is, why not Picchu? This is the closest mountain to Machu Picchu. We and Mariana covered it, and we would like to extend our appreciation to all of you for joining us today. We hope to see you again soon. Have a great afternoon. Ciao.